Some journeys have a destination. Some rides never truly end. Tonight, we tell the story of a ride request that was accepted, but never completed. No body, no crime scene, no goodbye message. Just a ride that vanished from the map. This is a dramatized mystery story inspired by real patterns of modern crime. Names and details have been changed for storytelling. Welcome to Crime Stories USA. It's 11:43 p.m., a quiet Thursday night in a small American town. Most homes are asleep, but somewhere a phone screen lights up. A ride request is placed. Pickup in front of an apartment complex. Destination, downtown. Estimated time, 18 minutes. Simple, ordinary, routine. Except this ride never arrives. The passenger steps outside, young, alone, carrying nothing but a phone and a secret no one knew. The driver accepts the request. 5-star rating, hundreds of completed rides. Nothing unusual on paper. 11:51 p.m. The passenger enters the car. The ride officially begins, and that is the last verified moment anyone sees them alive. 7 minutes into the ride, the GPS stops updating. No arrival, no cancellation, no final location, just silence. So what happened inside that car? Why did the ride vanish from the system? And why, well, would this case haunt investigators for years? Stay with us, because the ride that never ended is only beginning. Earlier that day, life was perfectly normal. No warnings, no sense that midnight would change everything. The passenger, we'll call them Alex, was quiet, private, reliable. No enemies, no dangerous lifestyle. Just another name in another apartment. At 11:37 p.m., a final text is sent. "I'll be home soon." Those would be the last known words. 6 minutes later, the ride is ordered, and time begins to run out. Minutes after the ride begins, the apartment Alex left behind remains unchanged. A quiet room, a paused life, waiting for someone who will never return. Inside the car, no cameras, no witnesses, just two strangers sharing a short ride. A routine moment repeated thousands of times each night, until this one. 11:58 p.m. A missed call appears, then another. No answer. Unusual, but not yet alarming. Midnight arrives. No message, no update, no sign that anything is wrong. Yet somewhere, a ride remains unfinished. On the rideshare system, the trip remains active, not completed, not canceled, just running for hours. If something had gone wrong, the driver could end the trip, call support, alert emergency services. But no report is made. No call, no explanation. By morning, concern turns to fear. Alex never came home. Phone goes unanswered. Something is wrong. Panic sets in. Friends are contacted. Hospitals checked. No trace, no explanation. And then, a shocking discovery. The ride is still active. 6 hours later, still running, still never ended. By noon, authorities are notified. A missing person, last seen entering a rideshare car. A trip that never finished. Now, it's no longer just strange. It's a potential crime. Investigators ask the obvious question. Where is the car? Where is the driver? Where is Alex? And why? Did the ride never end? Within hours, investigators contact the rideshare company. A formal request is issued. They need everything. Driver details, trip logs, GPS records, account history, because somewhere in that data is the first real clue. The driver's profile appears ordinary. Verified documents. Hundreds of completed rides. No complaints, no red flags. On the surface, a perfect driver. Investigators attempt contact. Once, twice, again. No answer, no return call. Now, concern grows. The driver's registered address is located. Officers are dispatched. If the driver is home, this mystery ends quickly. But the door tells a different story. No answer, no movement. Neighbors say they haven't seen the driver in days. The house is quiet, too quiet. Inside, everything looks normal. Nothing stolen, no signs of struggle, except the car keys are gone, and so is the car. Now the focus shifts. Find the vehicle, find the driver, find the passenger, because the car, it is the crime scene. The rideshare company provides GPS logs. The last recorded location appears, not downtown, not near the destination, but on a deserted back road, 30 miles outside town. The driver had taken a wrong turn, then another, then completely left the city. Why? Traffic, a shortcut, or something else entirely? Units are dispatched to the last known GPS point, lights flashing, engines humming. Every minute matters now. They search the area, roadside, ditches, tree lines, no car, no tire tracks, no evidence, as if the vehicle simply vanished. By evening, the story hits local news, a missing passenger, a missing driver, a ride that never ended. Public attention ignites, and so do theories. Some say it's a system glitch, others say it's a kidnapping. Some whisper darker ideas, but investigators focus on one thing. Data never lies, and more data is coming. A lead detective speaks quietly. We will find out what happened in that car. Because somewhere between pickup and disappearance, the truth is hiding. Just as the case begins to stall, a new lead arrives. A traffic camera has captured the missing car. 16 minutes after pickup, the car stops at a gas station. The passenger remains inside. The driver steps out, buys something, returns to the car. Everything looks normal, too normal, but another person appears. They speak briefly to the driver. No audio, no clear view of faces. A stranger, unidentified, unexplained. After the stop, the driver doesn't return to the route. The car moves farther away, into darkness, into isolation. A gas station employee is interviewed. They remember the driver, calm, polite, but the passenger quiet, head down, avoiding eye contact. Nothing suspicious, nothing alarming. And yet, this is the last confirmed sighting. Investigators check the passenger's phone. It pings one final time. Location near the same rural road where the GPS froze. Then, Ostone, the signal dies. Battery, shut down, or intentional. A full search begins. Volunteers, police, rescue teams, they search day and night. Roads, rivers, wooded areas. But nothing is found. No vehicle, no phone, no trace. A tip comes in. Someone claims to have seen the car abandoned near an old warehouse. Officers respond immediately. Hope rises. But when they arrive, nothing is there. No evidence. Just an empty building and wasted time. A false lead, and pressure grows. Fear spreads through the town. People hesitate to ride alone. Trust begins to break. Because if this can happen once, it can happen again. Weeks pass, then months. No new evidence, no new sightings. The case slows, then stalls. Officially, it becomes a cold case, but the ride is still listed as active in the system. A trip that never ended. One detective refuses to let it go because something about this case doesn't fit. The wrong turns, the stranger at the gas station, the missing car, the never-ended trip. Somewhere a piece is missing, and they intend to find it. Months after the disappearance, a quiet internal audit begins inside the rideshare company. Not because of police pressure, but because of a system anomaly, a trip that never ended. And systems are not supposed to do that. Engineers stare at the record. The trip is still running, still billing, still active in the database. A digital ghost? Something or someone kept it alive. They search for the detailed trip logs, but key system records are gone, deleted, overwritten, unrecoverable, which raises a terrifying question. Who deleted them? Investigators request full account history again. This time, something strange appears. A second login from a different device at the exact time of the ride. A second driver account exists, same identity, same credentials, but created only days before the incident. A duplicate, a shadow account, one that disappears right after the ride. This is no longer a missing person case alone. Now it is also a data breach, a manipulated system, a carefully planned setup. Someone didn't just commit a crime, they covered it digitally. The information is forwarded to investigators. A second account, deleted logs, unauthorized access. The case, once cold, is suddenly burning again. Then, another surprise. An anonymous email arrives at the police department. No name, no traceable address, just one sentence. Stop looking at the driver, look at the passenger. For the first time, investigators consider the unthinkable. What if Alex was not a victim, but part of something larger? What if the ride was never meant to end? Cyber investigators dig into Alex's digital life, private forums, encrypted accounts, hidden usernames, a second identity, unknown to friends, unknown to family, and deeply connected to someone still out there. Authorities officially reopen the investigation. New digital evidence, new suspects, new direction. The mystery has changed shape. Now, the passenger is under the spotlight. The detective whispers, "This wasn't random. This was planned." And suddenly, the ride that never ended has a purpose. Cyber investigators uncover Alex's hidden online identity. Not social media, not public. A private network. Encrypted, invitation only. A place where secrets live. Inside the network, a group obsessed with vanishing. People who wanted to escape debts, past lives, broken identities. A digital underground of planned disappearances. And Alec Goem was one of them. Days before the ride, a conversation takes place. Short, clear, purposeful, a planned meeting. A ride used as cover, not random, not spontaneous, designed. Investigators now realize something shocking. The driver was not the mastermind. The driver was recruited online, offered money, told only one instruction: pick up the passenger, follow the route sent later. Nothing more. A paid participant in a plan they didn't fully understand. The stranger seen at the gas station, now identified as another member of the group. The person who delivered the new route, a handoff, a silent signal. After that moment, the ride changed course permanently. Phone pings and GPS data combine. They lead to one conclusion: a remote meeting point, far from roads, far from cameras, far from help. The true destination of the ride. But something went wrong. Messages revealed disagreement, suspicion, a breakdown of trust. In a world built on secrecy, betrayal is fatal, and that night, someone did not leave that force. Later that night, the driver returns alone. No passenger, no instructions, no payment, just fear. Fear of what they witnessed, fear of what they were part of, fear of being next. By morning, the driver vanishes too. No calls, no social media, no bank activity. Another person erased, another identity gone. The detective finally sees the full picture. This was never a simple missing person case. It was a planned disappearance, a secret network, a meeting that ended in betrayal. And somewhere out there, someone still knows the truth. With new digital evidence, investigators return to the rural location, the suspected meeting point, the place the ride was always meant to end. This time, they know exactly where to look. Deep in the forest, they find a clearing. Not natural, recently used, recently disturbed. Silence fills the air. Because everyone knows, they are standing where the truth began. Then, the first object appears. A burned phone, its SIM card melted, its data unrecoverable. But investigators recognize the model. It matches Alex's device. Nearby, tire tracks. Same tread pattern as the missing car. Proof the vehicle reached this location. Proof the ride did not vanish. It arrived exactly where it was meant to, but there is no body, no clothing, no blood, Nothing that confirms death, nothing that confirms survival. Only absence, only silence, only questions. Then, a symbol, carved into bark, matching an icon found in the underground forum. A mark of the group, a signature, a message left behind. Now the case changes again. Not just a disappearance, not just a betrayal, but evidence of an organized network, still operating, still active, still dangerous. Cyber investigators recover one surviving data fragment from the burned phone. Only 4 words: trust no one after. Not a goodbye, not a confession, a warning, a final realization. Someone knew betrayal was coming. Someone tried to escape it. But did they succeed? Because of the underground network, the case is transferred to federal investigators. This is no longer local. This is no longer small. This is something bigger and still unfolding. And somewhere, inside a corporate server, the ride still runs. A digital thread connecting everything. A journey with no end. When federal cyber investigators enter the case, everything accelerates. More resources, more authority, more reach. If the underground network exists, they will find it. Analysts rebuild the hidden forum structure. Usernames, encrypted nodes, hidden routes, dozens of accounts across multiple states, all connected by one purpose: disappear without trace. Then one account activates. The same account that messaged Alex, the same account that planned the ride. After months of silence, it returns. They do not shut it down. They watch. Every keystroke, every login path, every digital breath. Because this user is the last living thread. An undercover agent enters the forum, a simple message: I need a ride that never ends. Seconds pass, then a reply appears. Location? The trap is sprung. A meeting point is agreed upon. A time set. A silent digital handshake. The same pattern. The same method. Only this time the law enforcement will be waiting. Hours before the meeting, teams take position. Cameras hidden, roads blocked at distance. Every possible escape watched. If someone arrives, they will not leave unseen. At exactly midnight, a car appears. The same make, the same model, the same missing rideshare vehicle, the ride that never ended, has returned. A person steps into the clearing, checks their phone, waits, just like the night Alex vanished. Federal agents, don't move! The figure freezes. Hands rise slowly. In seconds, the suspect is in custody. Inside the car, multiple phones, fake IDs, cash, rideshare driver accounts on screen, a mobile command center for disappearances. Hours later, the suspect speaks. A quiet confession. They didn't harm anyone. They organized escapes, new identities, fresh starts. But on the night of Alex's ride, something went wrong. The suspect whispers, Alex didn't want to disappear anymore. They wanted out. They threatened to expose us. Silence fills the room. Betrayal confirmed. Where is Alex? The suspect lowers their head and answers, I don't know if they survived. With lawyers present and cameras rolling, the suspect finally speaks in full, not defensive, not emotional, just matter of fact. Because in their world, disappearances were business. The network specialized in one thing, helping people vanish. New identities, new lives, no questions asked, runaways, debt escapees, people fleeing past mistakes. No violence, no harm, just clean disappearances. Until Alex. Alex didn't want to disappear. Alex wanted something else. They wanted proof, evidence, names, data. They planned to expose the network. And the ride that night was never meant to be an escape. It was meant to be a meeting, a confrontation. The driver was hired online, promised quick cash. No knowledge of the deeper plan. Just drive to point A, then follow the instructions sent later. They were a tool, nothing more. At the gas station, the stranger delivered the new route, a phone, coordinates, a warning. After this point, you didn't see anything. The driver nodded and drove into the forest. At the meeting point, another car waited, another member of the network, another silent witness. Alex stepped out. The driver stayed inside. No screaming, no struggle, just quiet voices in the dark. Alex demanded proof, threatened exposure, threatened to go public. The network's rule was simple: no exposure, no risk, no loose ends. A decision was made. The driver didn't see everything, but they heard enough. A final scream cut short, then silence, and a voice outside the car said, "Drive, don't look back, forget tonight." No body was ever found, no grave discovered, no trace recovered, because the network knew how to erase evidence. That was their specialty. Terrified, the driver fled, abandoned the car, destroyed their own identity, disappeared using the same network. A witness who vanished into the system. The trip was left running intentionally, a digital smokescreen, a distraction, a way to confuse investigators, a ride that never ended, so no one would see where it truly did. The suspect finishes. Alex forced our hand. They knew too much. They chose to fight, and they lost. No emotion, just truth, cold, final, years of questions, answered in a single night. But one remains. Was Alex a hero trying to expose a hidden world, or a person who stepped into darkness and never found a way back? Months later, the case moves to court. The network member is on trial, evidence laid bare. The burned phone, digital records, testimonies of federal investigators. The courtroom listens in suspense. The rideshare company testifies. Apologies for system gaps, explanations for the active trip, pledges of security reforms, a digital lesson learned, too late for some. Federal cyber experts present the digital trail, duplicated accounts, deleted logs, encrypted chat histories. The jury sees a world hidden from normal life, a world where disappearances are carefully planned. Alex's family speaks to reporters. They want answers, they want closure, and they want the truth to prevent others from vanishing the same way. After months of testimony, the verdict is delivered. Guilty on multiple charges: digital manipulation, conspiracy, endangering a passenger. Sentence handed down. A chapter closes, but not all questions answered. The rest of the network remains under investigation. Some disappear, some surrender, but the underground world still exists, quietly, waiting. Rideshare companies implement major reforms: two-step verification, enhanced driver vetting, trip anomaly detection. The ride that never ended leaves a lasting mark on the industry. The town slowly heals. Trust is rebuilt. Fear lingers, but life continues. And the story of one mysterious ride becomes a cautionary tale. Even after the court case, some mysteries remain. No trace of Alex's final location, no confirmation of survival. The ride that never ended still haunts investigators. Encrypted accounts continue to exist online. Even inactive accounts leave digital echoes, hints, warnings, fragmented evidence. The underground network is not completely gone. The lead detective reflects, some stories never truly end, some rides never finish. The truth can be found, but closure is not always possible. Alex's family continues their vigil, holds memories alive, shares the story to warn others. The ride may have ended physically, but it lives on in memory. The ride that never ended became more than a disappearance. It became a symbol of secrecy, of trust broken, of digital shadows that follow us all. From this story, we learn: verify your rides, protect your data, be aware of those who offer easy answers. Even a simple trip can turn into something unimaginable. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, stay vigilant, stay aware, because some rides never truly end.